back again with Ted Rubin, Collective Bias, and Chief Social Marketing Officer.
Correct.
Of Collective Bias. And I love that title. Hopefully one day I can have that title.
Well, for me, I was a chief marketing officer, and I said enough of this stuff. I'm tired of doing all this search and the media buys and the affiliate stuff. I am now what I call I'm a rehabbed chief marketing officer, and now I'm a chief social marketing officer.
Awesome, and you're kicking butt.
I'm trying.
Awesome. So the future of social media. I mean, that's probably the number one question that's always asked of any agency, any company, any.
I think that everybody has to have an eye to the future. At Collective Bias, we're very lucky. We have this community called Social Fabric, which is about 2,000 bloggers, approaching 2,000 bloggers strong. And bloggers are remarkable people. Not only do they juggle a million different things at once, but they try all new tools. So we kind of use them as our view into what's happening. We started recommending Pinterest to clients a year ago and building stuff for them, not because we're so smart, because the bloggers in our community were using it and they were loving it. So I say that because one of the things that I think is really important, I tweet about this, I write about it, is that too many of us are looking at what's the future of social media, what's next, instead of what's now. Very few of us have really properly learned how to use Twitter, right? And to leverage things like Twitter, Facebook. YouTube's been around for how long? And most companies don't have a clue.
Just now figuring out how to use it. Just now.
If they are. Okay. And most of them are just using it as an advertising medium.
But let me ask you why do you think, let's just stick with Twitter, YouTube for example, been around for a while. Why do you think it's taken so long for companies to hop on board? So you know what, this is how to properly use this channel.
I'm not really sure. I would have to say one of the reasons is, and it still exists today, a lot of people will not load up video yet. So they started trying to use it for contests, and they get people to take videos of themselves, and most people just don't do it. And it's not happening a lot. You can do a contest with a 2 million name member database, and you can get 60 entries if you're lucky. Maybe only 20 or 30. People just haven't gotten to that comfort level yet. So I think that's one reason. I think another reason might be that it got bought by Google. I mean,
it's been a long time though, that purchase.
No, it has been. And I just think that it all of a sudden just became part of a big conglomerate. It wasn't the new happening thing. Like again, we're talking here. People like to look at what's next. So I think people just didn't really recognize exactly what they could use it for, how they could use it, the ease of using it, how it didn't have to be using sets and doing fancy things. That user-generated content is so valuable. And I think the most important part is companies are still afraid of user-generated content.
Sure, I agree.
They still want to control the message.
That's what it is.
And at Elf Cosmetics, when I was there, we made amazing use of YouTube because we found women were making videos of themselves, and we just put it out on a site. We weren't worried about what was on it because we knew it was cosmetics, it was fun, and there are ways to do that. And I think that most companies just have to let that go a bit, and where it's going to go. But I think what's really important is that you definitely need, like I said, to have an eye to the future. You need to be trying new apps, new things, because you never know what's going to be something that's going to catch on. But I think we really have to start paying attention to what's now, and really understanding how to leverage these tools. Another thing, I hear all this talk about someone has to bring the blogging community into organization. We have to set up rules. No way.
No, I agree.
The power of the blogging community is that it's crowdsourced, that it's out there, that it's being done on its own, that there aren't rules and regulations. In 1996 and 97, when I first got into the business, people were calling this new media. It wasn't new media. It was old media repackaged. All they did was take magazines, newspapers, put it online, take TV shows, put it online. But now, all of a sudden, right now, I think we are in the age of true new media. When people who can publish themselves, there's a real democratization of content, and that you can bring this all into one space and crowdsource everything you're doing.
Right, because now you become your own media company, ultimately.
You are, and groups are, and just like a Collective Bias, we don't consider ourselves an agency. I mean, we are right now, but we believe that within the next 12 to 18 months, we're going to be a majority publishing company and media business.
Right. Now, do you think that should be the same kind of philosophy or thinking that most companies have? Treat yourself as a media company before anything else? Because, you have Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Google+. I mean, you have so many channels today that you constantly have to put more and more information out there about yourself. So ultimately, you're a media company.
I think that you have to have a part of your company mentality as looking at it from a media business, but again from the user-generated content side. But not every company wants to be a media business. If you're selling product, I'm sorry, you're not a media business. If you're manufacturing product, you're not a media business. You have a media side to your business that will help you influence people, will build advocates, will get people that love you, your product, will build emotional connections and relationships. But I think that the smart agencies the smart companies that are building marketing around brands, that are building awareness, that are branding things, and that are understanding that they have to move into the emotional connection relationship side, understand that they have to move into this media side of things.
I agree. And with that said, thank you. Appreciate it.
Love it. Thanks,
Ramon. It's always awesome.
Until next time.
Until next time, absolutely.